BBC News, 9th of March 2023, Chinese spy police stations are being looked into by Canadian police in Quebec. Quebec-based unregistered Chinese police service stations are being looked into by the Canadian Federal Police. The RCMP reported that they are investigating 2 locations in the Montreal region that are thought to be working for Beijing. Human rights organizations have charged China with using the stations to monitor and threaten its citizens overseas. As service centers for its spying citizens abroad, China has disputed operating these illegal spy stations. Speaking to the media on Thursday, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau stated that these Chinese spies are a problem his government is very concerned about. He said, "We are working to ensure that the RCMP is investigating this and that our intelligence networks are treating it seriously." According to the Spanish NGO Safeguard Defenders, which keeps track of disappearances in China, the stations are thought to be among at least 100 running in 53 nations worldwide, including the UK and the US. In a report last year, the non-profit said the stations are part of efforts by China's government to harass, threaten, intimidate and force targets to return to China for persecution. According to the report, the overseas police service stations were created by Chinese public security bureaus on several continents, including 2 in Glasgow and 2 in London. It discovered stations in Toronto, Vancouver, and New York in North America. In November last year, the RCMP acknowledged that it was looking into reports of Chinese spy service stations working in the Greater Toronto area. The federal force requested on Thursday that any Chinese Canadians who may have been the subject of what the police described as alleged Chinese police stations come forward. RCMP Sergeant Charles Poirier stated on Thursday that these actions, and any other kind of targeting of diaspora communities or people in Canada, would not be tolerated. Similar reports of such stations working in the nation have previously caused the federal police in the U.S. to voice their concern. Attempts by China to establish a police presence on U.S. territory violate the sovereignty and evade standard judicial and law enforcement cooperation processes, FBI Director Christopher Wray stated at a U.S. Senate hearing in November. An alleged Chinese police post has reportedly been established on Broadway in New York City, according to Safeguard Defenders. According to Chinese embassies in the US and Canada, the locations are illegal overseas service stations established during the pandemic to help citizens abroad with driver's license renewal and related issues. However, Safeguard Defenders scholar Jing Jia Chen told the BBC that he was dubious of China's justification. He said that if you want to help your citizens living overseas, you can do it through official channels rather than secretly. The RCMP investigation comes in the wake of claims that China tried to sabotage Canada's 2 most recent federal elections, reports that have strained ties between the 2 nations.